Just a content warning here. This episode contains discussions of SA allegations and situations surrounding that. So if you are sensitive to that topic or if you're in a weird place right now and that might trigger you, just take care of yourself and I'll catch you in the next one.
I know where I'm at. I've been following this story for 6 years. A couple of these women are people that I've been in contact for the entire time, and I believe them.
So you think he's guilty?
Yes.
Hey, everybody, welcome back or welcome in. If you're new here, get in here, get comfortable, get under a blanket, get a food item or some type of beverage if you'd like. Help yourself. This is your space. So if you're new here, we like to watch people being messy on the internet. We like to sit back and warm our hands by the dumpster fire. If you're not new here, guess what? You're back on the bus. That's right. You fell asleep safe and warm in your bed, and you woke up 8 stops past your destination. That's right. We're back on the LolcowBUS. They thought they were done with Girl World. We thought they were done with Girl World, but they've got their noses right back up in all of our cracks. So far they've already interviewed Stefan, and they have interviews planned with other people who are involved in the case, allegations, whatever you want to call it. So they're up in it. They're up in the business. So this isn't going to be a deep dive. I just wanted to kind of look into what Stefan had to say on Bus last night and just start piecing together who some of the players are. There's a lot of information out there about what's been going on for the past couple of years, and I'm interested in taking a look. So we're just gonna get Stefan's side for now, and then I'm gonna go back in and take a look at some of the other people who are part of this. So if you enjoy this kind of thing, feel free to like and subscribe. For every like, I will attack your heart. And for every sub, I'll grill it.
One of our hosts, Foxy Mama, over here, you might not recognize her because she lost a bunch of weight, but at one point she was at your mansion. And with this new documentary coming out, this has been a topic that we've been talking about from time to time with this documentary coming out on you because she was at your house, right?
Okay, I don't remember. I have to admit, probably in total, more than 500 people have been through this house since I started, officially doing TikTok and saying like, hey, how they misrepresented it in the trailer, like holding up a big ass swimsuit. I never said that. I never said, if you fit in here, come in my pool.
Yeah.
I said the steps to have a bikini body. Here's a bikini, put the damn bikini on, throw your butt in a circle, and have fun. That was the original message.
I told you, Fupa, they be lying in those documentaries.
The trailer is the ultimate clickbait. Listen, the TV is a business. I get that. I run a business. I make my money with everything but TikTok. I don't make anything on TikTok, right? TikTok has always been a hobby. The girls living with me or hanging out with me, friends. I don't make content with them other than for fun. I don't make any money off of them. Nobody pays me any money. This is literally just like, I'm set. Money wise, I'm good. Like I don't need clicks and views or anything for money. And I would never ever put any of my eggs in a basket called TikTok. Like they just banned my account for no reason.
Yeah.
They said fake engagement. Since when has Pearadise ever been fake engagement? Never. But I can totally agree with everybody. The trailer did exactly what it was supposed to do. It created the ultimate controversy. And by doing that, it will hopefully bring everybody to watch the show.
I'm going to cut out as much of Keem talking as possible, just to save us all from that. I also just want to mention, Stefan refers to the people who stayed at the house as girls. They are women, adult women, over 18 women. They were women. So I just wanted to... It just needs to be said. It's at a certain point. At a certain point, we can refer to adult women as women.
The production company approached me a while back, and they said, "Hey, we found your content. We see this Pearadise thing. Like, you have the girls around. You guys make all these trends. You guys look interesting. This is unusual because plus size women are so unacceptable in society. Like, basically, what are you doing? Like, how did you get? Like, we want to know your story." They approached me about like making a TV show about the past and present of Pearadise, the people at Pearadise, what is Pearadise, that kind of stuff. I had no idea they're going to interview the people that made this whole slander campaign about me. And like, one thing I need people to know right out of the gate, the main person that led the slander and smear campaign against me has never been to the house, never talked to me, never met me anywhere, never had any communication with her. She didn't even respond to a text message. When she first started her campaign, I reached out to her and I said, hey, can we talk? Like adults, figure this out, right? What's your problem? She ignored me and instead made another video on TikTok and said, I'm silencing people, I'm a predator, I'm dangerous, I need to be shut down, be afraid.
So I believe the person he's referring to is Piggy Stardust, whose name I made note of in one of our last videos, just because it kind of bothers me when women, demean themselves and then call it empowering. Yeah, so I think that's who he's referring to. She is a woman who had like platformed other people who were the victims who have allegations against him. She platformed them, but she is not a person who actually interacted with him.
This girl right here, her public post on a fetish website was.
So here Stefan goes on to describe a post that Piggy Stardust made on a website, and it has nothing to do with fucking anything, and it infuriates me because he did it for shock value. He did it to discredit her. He did it in the way that people do when they say, oh, if a woman enjoys intimate relations, that means consent doesn't matter. And why is she acting like these allegations? Why is she acting like I did anything bad to her? Look at these things that she does. Look at these things that she's into. You can't, like, it makes me so fucking mad, and I can't actually use the words that I want to use right now. Hopefully you are understanding where my anger is coming from. It made me so mad. It made me so mad that they all sat and listened to him talk about it. It made me so mad. I'm so mad about this. Like, a woman expressing herself sexually does not mean that that she loses her agency or that consent is not necessary.
There was no problems while they were at the house. We had a good time. We went on a road trip. We went swimming. We made TikToks. We went fucking viral. 16 million views on our swimsuit check video. Everything looked good. Everything looked fine. On the last day, on the very, very last day, I have a surveillance video of them dancing in the living room. Fun, making TikToks. Yet in the court documents, they claim that they felt like captives, right? A captive doesn't dance in the living room. On the next day after they left, first of all, that one girl that is going to be a pretty big role, her name is Savannah Brown.
Yep.
She was sitting on the floor in her room, like upstairs in her bedroom. She was sitting on the floor crying because she didn't want to leave.
I couldn't find a lot of TikToks from Savvy about the situation, but I did find one frame that says, to everyone who is wondering, I'm not allowed to talk about the situation anymore because his lawyer got in contact with me and threatened legal action. Thank you, everyone, for the support. It means so much.
She had such a good time, she didn't want to leave. On the next day after she left my house, gone out of the house, left Pearadise, back in Washington, she made a public TikTok and posted, I can't wait to be back in Vegas. 5 days or 6 days, I don't have the timeline exactly. Like, I documented it. The video is on my website. It's pearadise.net. The whole evidence is posted for anybody that wants to go down the real rabbit hole with the proof and evidence. It's all posted.
So you can tell that Tech Protect is absolutely on Stefan's side, which is obnoxious because I don't think he's heard anyone else's side. And Foxy, who was part of it and has been following the story for years, has not been allowed to get a word in edgewise. It's just been Keemstar asking questions and letting Stefan just run his fucking mouth.
We did a cease and desist to all 5 of them.
Them? Wait. You're suing them?
Yes, for slander defamation.
Yeah, they're lying.
I didn't know that. I thought they were suing him.
Listen. Very, very important. Not a single report, police or anything else, was ever filed against me. Not a single complaint with any court was ever filed against me. The whole lawsuit bullshit was me trying to defend myself.
Yep.
And I learned later through the whole steps that, like, I could have skipped that. I could have literally just said, like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Nothing's official. The problem is that, like, claiming SA on somebody is so damaging that, like, everybody here in the house, everybody behind me was like, oh my God, Stefan, like, this is crazy. Like, you need to get legal advice. Like, this can ruin your life. And I went to a lawyer and I showed the lawyer like some of the videos that Piggy made. And the lawyer was like, oh my fucking God, like 12 years in the business or whatever as an internet slander and defamation lawyer. And he said he's never seen anything like it.
Now, I got a question. Is Piggy still making videos on you?
Yes, yes.
That's crazy.
So I wanted to include Kimmy's side in this video, but this is getting kind of long. So I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'll go back and I'll have a whole separate thing where we'll get her side of things.
Okay.
And so I need to break this all down for you guys, because I know there's a lot of people that have questions about this show. I got approached by producers probably 5 times in my lifetime on TikTok, right? I got approached for Love Don't Judge. I got approached for, like, I don't even know all the names, like, you know, Paradise Love House. I got approached for, like, all sorts of shows. Usually what happened every single time, Piggy and the gang sabotaged the project and made them cancel it, because they went and they said, how dare you going to make any content with a predator, with a known, like a dangerous, they make me look like a pedo.
Yeah, they do.
Like
that's what
Piggy,
detractors do. Yeah.
Yes, Piggy made a public video claiming that my ex-girlfriend who lived here, Cass, I don't know if you cast a blast.
Yeah.
God bless her heart. She passed 2 years ago after 2 years of leaving my house. Like, she lived with me. She was in a relationship with me. Piggy bullied her into the ground. Cass was a.
Here he gives some information about Cass, his late girlfriend, about her childhood experiences, and it's not his story to tell. It is not relevant to what we're talking about, and it's not appropriate. I don't care if a person is, you know, alive or dead. It's not your story to tell, and it has nothing to do with fucking LolcowBUS.
And the whole time, the only real reason for her to do this is because she doesn't like me. And this is zero personal contact.
So this movie's coming out. Have you seen the movie? Have you seen a screening?
I have not seen it. I have not seen the final product. I have no idea. To say this up front right now, I have no idea why Rosie, Quirky Lover Rose, is in the trailer. She's never been here, never talked to me, other than flirted with me on Discord in 2020 that I had totally forgotten about. Like, I don't even know who Rosie is. I learned myself very quickly that there's a lot of drama about her, because the official trailer posted on YouTube by the production company, ID Discovery, the entire comment section is tearing into what the fuck is Rosie doing here? She has no connection to Paradise. Rosie apparently is trying to make me look like a feeder house. There's no feeding. Like, we eat dinner, like family. Like, everybody who's watched Paradise live stream at any point in time might have seen us sitting around the table, and one of the beautiful women dished up a delicious dinner, and we were just sitting eating on camera.
So there are things coming out between Quirky and Stefan. They had some interactions. Again, she was never in his house, but they were in each other's DMs, and she was in the Discord like back in 2020. And they're both like releasing the conversations, and I think it was just like flirtational, and he had to help her kind of get into the Discord and get registered and stuff.
Quirky Lover Rose is the definition of drama and controversy. She's never been here, no, Jess. I've never had any contact with her. She joined my Discord way back in the day, and she proudly posted the 3 messages that we exchanged that were about getting her registered for the Discord. I know nothing about that girl. Luckily, she's never flirted with me.
I just want to yap for a second, because, like, I just think it's so interesting, right? Because I understand there's a wide section of the internet that doesn't fucking like me and inherently is biased against me. Obviously, that's a not shit Sherlock statement to make. But I'm watching this man pull the same shit that he has pulled for years that you guys are gonna see on June 10th. It's just the first time it's been directed at me. Because you're right, Stefan. We never had a close interpersonal relationship. And that's not why I was there. And I've never stated otherwise. I've never stated to be a victim of you. Because I had the sense when I saw your weird shit in the Discord to not engage again. You're fucking weird. And whether you like me or not, you're gonna regret it if you side with him. And there's a lot more I want to say, and a lot more I want to get into. But the reason I'm sharing these screenshots is because I want to prove the point that this is a pattern of behavior It has never changed with him. He's a gaslighter. He's a manipulator. He's a narcissist. And he's fucking weird. You still follow me, by the way, Stefan. And you followed me on here for years. I don't know if your ego is hurt, buddy, but you're right. I never flirted with you.
It might not be a popular take, but I don't think it's totally insane to ask someone who has experience in a similar environment to talk about their experience. Like, she can talk about being in the poly community in Omaha, wherever the fuck she was. She can talk about, fat women love. She can talk about the things that people who are coming to the house also experience. That's like a normal documentary thing, I think. She is very outspoken, and she's an internet celebrity or whatever. So I think it makes sense for them to have asked her to, like, background or whatever. It would not make any sense for her to talk about Pearadise since she's never been there, but we don't know. I guess we'll have to see when we see it. It is very funny to watch her center herself and get back to making TikToks about me, this body. Yeah, that's right. I'm hot. Like, there's not, it's a very funny pivot for those of us who've been watching her for a while. It's a very funny and very obvious pivot.
Stefan, can you hold for a minute? So Foxy has actually been to your house. She's the one with the orange hair and the pink headphones. Foxy,
Correct.
When you went over to the mansion, did it seem like feeding was going on?
I mean, it was always like fast food for sure.
When were we here? What year?
2021.
Was Cass here still?
Yes.
Okay, that was season 3. I mean, yeah, fast food. Yes.
Every day, yeah.
But that's fine.
Tacos. Yeah.
But was it an excess?
Yeah,
Was
it was definitely an excess. I mean, there was a lot of trips to Heart Attack Grill where the girls
Really?
would jump on the scale that's outside the restaurant and then go in and eat and get spanked.
We do have, during this week, an interview with someone who is part of the HBO fucking special, right? That's
Okay.
happening on Tuesday, and we have another interview possibly on Thursday. Would you like to come out and have the final word on this whole topic on Friday this week?
Already ready to give him the final word without even hearing from any of the victims. Shocking. Isn't that what a shocker from the LCU that they're going to give the accused fucking predator the final word. Amazing.
Me sitting here trying to defend myself makes me look stupid.
No.
The best thing I have done in the past, and this is also the videos that I posted on paradise.net on my website. There's a whole allegation section because it's not a secret.
He's not kidding. He's got a whole section on his website. I'll give you a couple of things here, but you can go there yourselves and dive in there. It's pretty crazy.
Piggy made 350 videos about me. They went live with Aunt Karen, which is another one of those, like, online Me Too movement, cancel culture vultures or whatever. They put this all out there one-sided with a narrative that was always 2 steps exaggerated. This happened and we make it look like this. I'm not a saint. I'm not sitting here, I'm saying I'm perfect. Like, I'm not saying, like, I didn't make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes.
What mistakes have you made in
I
reference
haven't.
to this?
I didn't vet people enough to come before inviting them to the house.
Okay. But what mistakes other than that? I mean, obviously, right? But other than that, like, what mistakes? Was there any a time where, like, maybe you misread a situation?
I mean, anybody can misread a situation, of course. But, like, I think the most drastic things that happened to me is I've said things out of anger, like reactive abuse. Like, I got called all the names under the sky. I said, like, you should die. You should get deported. You should take your kids taken away from you. All blah 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 blah. And then eventually I snapped and I responded and I said, you know what? Maybe you should experience what it really is, what they're trying to make it out to be.
So you hear what he said there, though. You heard what he really said. What he's calling reactive abuse is he's saying you should experience the thing you're alleging I did. We can't say any of this stuff on YouTube, but that's fairly fucked up. And again, I don't know what he did and didn't do, and I'm still trying to understand what the allegations are. But anybody can sit here and meet people for the first time and say, I'm not that kind of person, and I'm the best, and I've made some mistakes, but my hands are clean.
I still, to this day, I still feel like, sadly, in today's community, in today's society, the word SA is too wide of a spectrum. You would never catch me walking into a grocery store, a bar, any event or whatever, and just grabbing and touching somebody anywhere, other than maybe a shoulder to alert them to something, right?
Now, when you're at the parties, right? You know, I've heard stories of like you're walking by, you grab a girl's stomach, you know,
somebody that I know, a friend.
Well, that's what Foxy claimed that you did to her. When you went by, you like grabbed her stomach.
Yes.
Remember that? I mean, there's also times, 2021. Like you need to tell me like what time frame you were here. Like 2021, when? Like,
May and June.
That doesn't really make sense because they came out with their stuff. They came out with their stuff in June, and literally like on the first time.
Into the thick of it.
Oh my God! Yeah,
that's her.
Yep, that's me.
Long time ago.
Yes, very long time.
That video. I don't know. I was born with it. I've never dated a skinny girl.
Well, if you're the man out there that seeks multiple women, that comes with problems.
So Keem has this person here to talk about Pearadise in the documentary, and he's got Foxy Mama right there, who was part of the house and who is aware of all the allegations against him. And Keem just launches into this like 10-minute conversation about like trying to understand why he likes fat women. Like, who fucking cares? It doesn't matter. It's a preference. It's a preference. It doesn't matter. Like, I do think it is pretty weird that he made his entire life and his entire existence around having a house where he can be surrounded by these women. Like that there's a difference between having a preference and having a house about it. But,
No. Like my first girlfriend was like, I don't know, maybe 350 or whatever in Germany. And it was just one. It was a monogamous relationship. And I got plenty of hate. Like you have no idea as a male, as a guy, the level of hate you get for dating a big girl. You get publicly shamed.
Oh, is that hard? Is it difficult? Oh, Stefan, is it hard to be a man who objectifies women? Oh, is it hard? Stefan, is your life hard? Is it hard to be around fat women and objectify them and love them and be worshipped by them? Is it hard? And then people are mean to you? Are people mean to you about that? Really? Is it hard? Have you ever been a woman in a large body? Have you ever been a woman with a female fucking body? Have you ever had a fucking woman's body? Have you ever had to live in a world? Have you ever had to have like a mom or an aunt or be surrounded by, girls at high school? You've never had that experience? You're just a man who gets a lot of blowjobs? Wow, that sounds hard.
Well, the reason why is because it's an addiction, right? And people lie about their addictions, whether it's alcohol, food, drugs, whatever. They lie. Gambling. They'll be like, I just won. They'll never tell you about their losses when they're out gambling. That's the problem with addictions is people just lie about it. Like one of our hosts, ALR, that was up here. I mean, she was trying to convince everyone that she ate like well under 200,000 or 2,000 calories.
Yeah, she was saying it was 2,000 calories. Are you familiar, Stefan, with who Amber Lynn Reed is?
Vaguely, because people in my TikTok chat, sometimes bring her up. I've seen that there was a controversy, but then again, as a respectful human being, I don't judge somebody that I haven't met, that I haven't really educated myself, and I know there's a lot of controversy and a lot of drama and a lot of negativity about her out there.
Yeah.
But I have learned too that I don't judge somebody just by a one-sided story. I've heard the name, okay?
Yeah.
And
I did see that Emily was in your chat last night, and you got pretty excited about it when she was in your chat.
Do you remember Emily? Was she? Was she? Huh?
So there's a long back and forth here, and people are accusing Stefan of knowing Tommy Salami Emily, but he's talking about a completely different Emily. And someone saying that Tommy Salami was in the chat and he was so excited to see her, but I don't think he would know. I don't think it would make any sense why he would know Tommy Salami. Also because her name isn't Emily on TikTok. It's something else. So I'm not exactly sure what this conversation is about, but I just wanted to clear that up.
I still wanted to tell you this really quick.
Yeah.
With your statement, you're saying I'm not sitting here saying I'm innocent. I'm not sitting here. I never did anything. I am the only thing that I'm saying, and I want that to be heard very loud and clear. If anybody would have ever had a problem with me, I've always had open ears. If anybody would have ever felt a certain way about something that I did, something that I said, or whatever, you can literally sit here, or we could go outside, or we could go in the fucking smush room where there's no camera, right? Like if you don't want to be recorded, absolutely no problem. I've always told people I have two open ears. I'm very constructive criticism any day. If anybody would have came to me and said what, honestly, which actually happened in this case too. Before the lawsuit, there was a small period of time after they suddenly started talking negative about me on the internet, before Piggy came out with her SA allegations.
Yep.
There was a whole phase of going on Discord, on video chats, and me apologizing and saying like, "Oh my God, like I didn't know that you felt uncomfortable. You could have told me. Like I would have immediately." And actually, the way it is, this one girl, Savvy, there was an incident. We were all slapping each other's butts. We were all goofing around, and at some point, she turned to me only and said, "Hey, Stefan, would you please not do this anymore?" And I said, "Oh my God, absolutely. I'm so sorry. Like, I had no idea."
Yeah,
and from that day on, from that second on, I did not lay a finger on that girl.
Yeah, we appreciate this, Stefan. Just so you're aware, the interview is happening tomorrow with one of the ladies. We have another one possibly on Thursday. If you want to come on Friday's show, it is 5 p.m. your time in Vegas.
Pretty awesome.
The same thing.
Just talking over the women on panel who have not been allowed to get a word in edgewise, who have barely been able to ask like one question each to this person, have not been able to push back on any points, have been very polite, just rolling right over them to invite him yet again to have the last word on this discussion.
I was going to ask, what did end up happening with the lawsuit?
I can tell you. In Nevada, the state of Nevada has a very specific law that prevents a public figure and limited person, aka a TikToker, limited person, public figure, to defend yourself against slander and defamation, because it turns the situation around in the way that you, as the person being slandered, you now have the burden of proof.
Right.
And you know how impossible it is to prove that something didn't happen. If I claim, or if you claim that I touched you inappropriately, or like I punched you, whatever, right? And you pull up a video of that happening, positive proof, no questions asked. It is impossible.
So you couldn't prove that didn't happen?
It didn't go to court. It never went to discovery. So people never got subpoenaed and put under oath on the stand. It ended at the point where I filed all of my paperwork. The opposing side filed all their paperwork, and they lied their asses off in the paperwork. Like I can tell you, Porkchop literally committed like perjury on her paperwork. And the judge just looked at it and said, "This is just an online controversy." They made a statement and said, clearly, the accusation of sexual assault, as defined by an NRS, blah 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 blah, did not happen. If the women ever were to bring complaint against me in court, it would be certainly dismissed. So SA didn't happen. But in the loosest colloquial sense, SA can mean anything, including a booty tap, and a booty tap happened. So I wasn't able to prove that a booty tap wasn't SA because I wasn't.
It was thrown out because there wasn't actual proof. It was basically she said.
Well, I mean, you was going after them for slander, right? But you couldn't prove that.
Like I wasn't able to prove that she honestly really didn't think or didn't feel that what happened constituted, in the very loosest colloquial, like Mickey Mouse sense, SA.
So Stefan is playing word games because it was the lawsuit was his lawsuit against them for slander. It was like a slap lawsuit, and it was thrown out because it was bullshit. But he can very easily say the lawsuit was thrown out and remove himself from the situation so that everyone will think that the lawsuit was against him. Very, very well done. Well played. He posted a few screenshots from the actual lawsuit. He highlights the part of the lawsuit that is a person testifying that the essay took place. It leaves out the absolute next point, which is that the person was incapacitated. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Like I don't think I have to tell anyone who's listening the reality, but like a person who has had far too much to drink, or a person who is emotionally compromised, can't give consent. I think that's just like a normal thing that everybody knows. So I'm not going to go through every single piece of evidence that he has on his website. You can go through and peruse it yourself. I just wanted to flag a couple things. And again, I have not heard from the other side of this. I'm just like, this is the very beginning overview of the situation. One of the pieces of evidence that he claims exonerates him is a text from someone saying, "The girls want to hook up with you. Do you want to come over? Ashley and me and Porkchop." Porkchop is a person who has allegations against him. This is him claiming that's consent. That's not consent. A different human, a completely different person texting saying, "Do you want to come over and hang out?" is not me giving you consent. Does that make sense? We're all on the same page about that, right? I don't have to go on and on about it. I mean, I could. there's another one from, this is from a completely different person, not a person who has allegations against him, and says, also, I think it's interesting that when you two hooked up, she told me about it the next day and was all giddy about it, but now is telling people she feels like y'all pressured her into it. Funny how the story changed. I don't, I don't think I need to tell, I don't think I need to tell you that, like, these things do happen, that people can go through difficult things and they cope in different ways. And it's just because someone, talked about it the next day or wasn't upset about it visually to you, that doesn't, they don't owe you that, right? Like that, it that doesn't make it untrue. And this is like a third person who is not involved, so it doesn't matter. Like, this does not exonerate anybody from anything. Your mileage may vary and you may have other feelings about it, but I don't think you can take a third person and say, see, this person didn't think that you were upset enough about the thing that when I hurt you. So, like, it doesn't exonerate him from anything. And I think stuff like this should be left out.
And they're just going off of stuff. Because he said 2 of the people that are involved in this lawsuit never met him. Is that accurate?
I think one was like a partner of the person. And then the Piggy Stardust girl that he's talking about, she's the one that pretty much like platformed some of these women that like helped get their story out, right? Like got the views because like their accounts weren't getting any views on the situation. So she was basically like news star.
So I do want to get Kimmy's side, and I want to get the victim's side out. I can't fit it into this video because I have a tendency to Frankenstein every little side quest that I have into these things, and I don't want to overload the machine. So let me know what you guys think. I get opinionated on things, and hopefully I didn't get anything too wrong. If I do, just let me know, and I'll pin the comment. I appreciate everyone so much for listening so far. We'll stay on top of it. We're going to have everything we need to know going into this documentary. We're going to be all loaded up. I really, really appreciate my members, especially. Thank you so much for your continued support. It means the most to me. Thank you so much. And if you're new here, I hope you enjoyed yourself. And if you're coming back, we love ya. That's it for me. Please come back. Take care of yourselves. Bye.